dating to relationships, from sex to love, from Christianity to politics, from darkness to light, you have now entered into the real zone. Welcome to Conversations with Trent, where no topic of conversation is safe from discussion. Now, here he is, Mr. Epic himself, Trent Williams.
What's going on? What's going on, beautiful people? Welcome to another conversation with Trent and my wonderful friends. Good stuff there, man. Good stuff. We got a hot one tonight, as Coach D requested, part 2. We ran out of time. We had some stuff going on, man. Some stuff from very engagement from all the viewers. We really appreciate that. Truly appreciate that. And our special guest, Ursula, is back with us again tonight. So we're going to dive in. We're going to dig a little deeper into this purpose or pleasure, part 2, for purpose or pleasure. So listen, I had a conversation with these ladies and they were saying that it sounded like it was transactional. It sounded like using purposeful. But when I was speaking about purpose, right, I'm talking about a purposeful relationship where two people know exactly where they're headed. They're on two different paths. And through conversation, they're connecting and whatnot, and it come, a purposeful relationship, a purposeful couple, and all that stuff. So I don't see the negative in that. I don't see it, and we're going to dig a little deeper. I got a couple of questions for Coach D and for Ursula and for the viewers. So we truly appreciate you guys for tuning in again. So good stuff there. Let's bring the ladies in. Let's get this thing on and popping. Coach D.
Hey there, how are you?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm tired. I was busy cleaning the deck, so I'm having my hair was not done today, so deal with it.
I like it when the hair down. I like it when the hair down. I like it when the hair is down. Reminds me of yesteryear, but I'm going to behave.
Yeah. A woman is more than her hair, sir.
There you go. Stop it. How's the little man?
He is good. He's downstairs playing his video games, of course. We set him up with a TV, so he's got a bigger amount now, so he's very happy. He's not looking at the little laptop screen.
We got Ursula again in the hot seat.
Hey, Miss Ursula.
Hi.
What's going on? So, hey, man, got a lot of talk around that conversation we had, and we ran out of time, and Coach D suggested we do another one. I think Coach D forgot that we do own the platform, so we could go as long as we want. So we can go as long as we want.
Yeah, but Coach D got a little one to take care of because Coach D can't go as long as she wants.
There you go. Good stuff. No, but so for purpose of pleasure, man, I was kind of actually, I went back and looked at the tape and talked to some folks, some of the viewers and whatnot and all that good stuff. And I was still kind of confused about how you guys viewed purposeful, how you guys viewed it as transactional. And, I could see where you guys were going with it, but that wasn't my reason for writing up that way. When I talk about purpose, I've been talking about purpose for decades. And my purposeful meaning is when you're actually on a purposeful path, like when I'm dating for a purpose. Now, I've done a ton of dating for pleasure, temporary contracts and everything. Second marriage, as I stated in a promotional piece earlier with Coach Z and I, that was a transactional relationship. Once I acquired the tools and realized that, damn, that was very transactional. Yeah, we had a beautiful daughter out of that relationship, 10-year marriage. But as I acquired the tools over the years, with this coaching thing, I realized that, hey, listen, that was for pleasure. That was for all my pleasure. It looked good on paper. She looked good next to me. Her money matches my money. Everything just looked good. It was superficial. So that was for pleasure. That wasn't a purposeful relationship. Yeah, I married on purpose because it looked good to our bank accounts. You see what I'm saying? So how far did that get me? A temporary contract. In the end, it was a temporary contract. So that's where I was going with it. But I wanted to dig a little deeper. I got some questions for you guys, but Coach D, you go on, take it away, and we'll get started.
Oh, thank you. Well, let's get everybody. We have all kinds of folks are back. So Slash says, "Good morning, Melon. Good rise. Sorry. Grand Rising Melanated People. Greetings, Princess Coach D and Mr. Epic. Miss
What up?
Kathy is back. She says, hello, everyone. Looking for some great conversation tonight. Albin is back. Says, good evening, panel.
Al Sal, what up?
Slash is saying good day to Alan. Miss
I see you,
Kathy.
Kathy, out of North Carolina. Good to see you, beautiful. Good stuff.
Slash said, we kind of heard one side. Is anyone in favor of being on the side of pleasure? And then Kathy says, grand opening. However, communication is critical and you must establish your desire in a relationship. You must
Absolutely. Absolutely. So yeah, Slash, well, when we talk about pleasure, man, I've done that a ton, but it was me running around the country and running abroad reckless. So the pleasure, I was attracted to that pleasure. That's what I wanted. I was very selfish and very self-centered. I wanted that pleasure. That's what I wanted. And that's what I was going to get. And in most times, that's what I got. You know what I'm saying? So it led me to on a path to nowhere. Honestly, it did. So, like I said in the opening, once I acquired the tools, I realized that a ton of relationships I went into was for pleasure. No purpose, no meaning, no goal, no end goal or anything. No end goal or anything. So for me, now at this stage in my life, if it's not purpose, I don't want nothing to do with it, whether it be business or personal. We have to have an end goal. Like with Coach D and I, we talk all the time, and I know her so well, and she know me. I know she wasn't gonna deal with no craziness. Hey, if I'm coming to her, bringing her on to the platform, she's gonna bring 110%. Not scratch that. She's gonna bring 1,000% because she's full of purpose. Everything has to have a meaning. Where we're going, what are our goals, what are our end goals. That's why we do this. When I had a conversation with her, because I know what she's about. She's about purposeful things.
Oh,
So
you're
it
not
just
going to like
doesn't have
my
to be a
answer.
relationship. What did you say?
I said, you're not going to like what I'm going to say then.
There you could see. There you go. She go upset. Now you know the sick and shedding you want to set me tonight.
So here's the thing. I got a lot of emails asking me if it's possible to be in a pleasurable relationship only because you're at a point in your life where you don't want to be in a purposeful relationship. And I'm like, yeah, not everybody needs to be in a relationship that's going to go somewhere. Many people are quite happy being single. Right?
True.
Society expects us that we're not complete if we don't have a husband or a wife. But
Absolutely.
In 2024, there's plenty of people who are quite happy and just have relationships when they want that don't have a purpose.
Here's where the lines get blurred, in my opinion, right? When we don't place our stuff on the table, we don't get naked with one another. And what I mean by that, when we don't speak honesty toward one another and we say what it is, I'm more than sure any man or woman, if you're honest with them, if they're actually, valid with themselves, they're going to respect that and go along with it. But if they're not valid with themselves, they're going to be offended by everything that you say. Like, hey, listen, this is what it is. Let's have this temporary contract. We don't have to be married, but we're good, right?
You don't need a contract. We're not even talking about contracts. We're just talking about just friends with benefits. Like communication is the key. Communication.
Exactly.
That both
We're
people
gonna
had to be on the
touch
exact
on what we're gonna touch on as well. What Coach D and I touched on about the Islamic faith, where they have these temporary contracts. Where they have these temporary contract with these ladies where there's a term in place where these are the terms, you both agree on them, kids and everything. At the end of that term, if you guys agree, you go back into it. If not, dissolve the relationship. No mess, no nothing. You were compensated. I get the kid, you get the kid, or whatever. Whatever's in the agreement. Sounds fair to me. Urs?
Mm-hmm. Well, I just think that in every reference to everything we saying, I started thinking more of the word balance. Like a lot of times people are just trying to figure out how to balance their lives and how to appropriately balance their life. And so when you think of pleasure and purpose, you try to add in balance, like how to have a balanced life. And so that is where it comes in. Like if somebody meets your needs, I guess, or whatever,
Absolutely.
then you may consider, a long-term relationship. Right. But I even thought about this conversation early this morning when I woke up, because I was like, society kind of makes you feel, I think we're in a transition in society these days where in some sense, it's not the old school way, like our parents taught us to, couple up, and people are kind of like, moving away from that regime of coupling up and just trying to figure out how to be, have a career, for women and guys more. And sometimes when you're trying to be in the midst of your career, it's kind of hard to do a balance and act with making people around you happy or whatever. So I can understand why someone say, is it okay to have a relationship where it's just somebody meeting your needs pleasurably, pleasurably.
Here's the thing, though. This is what I take issue with Americanized women. This is what I take issue with. I'm okay with all of that. But all I'm asking for is honesty placed on the table. Get naked with me on the table with transparency. I have no issue with that. You know what I'm saying? But the moment you become manipulative and the moment you go to playing these games, thinking you're playing these games, it's not going to end well for you. Especially with a seasoned man. It's not going to end well. But I guarantee you, if you speak with any man, and she's coming with honesty, truth, trust, and honesty, he's going to go along with it. And she's going to get whatever she wants out of him. But the first time you come with BS for a season, man, he's going to cut you off completely.
Oh.
I don't know. I kind of feel like that's like a double-edged sword a little bit. Because I do feel like...
What you mean? Well, to play games or not to play games? Which one is that? What you talking about?
I mean, because honestly, if you think about it, like I'm listening to you, and you know how I'm engaged into what you're saying, and I think sometimes, as we are growing, you learn, you meeting people, and you're steady growing, and you even meet people along the way, and y'all steady growing. It's like, we actually trees that walk and talk, and we're growing and trying to balance our lives. So, I mean,
that's the thing, though. Most people not embracing the growth, even at this age.
I feel like honestly, people, our parents weren't allowed to grow, and I think more now, we as adults are like, we would prefer to grow. And so sometimes growth means you walk away from relationships. I just feel like we do it without even, and I think we grow at different times. I don't know. I feel like different ways about it. I honestly do think that, I remember one of my friends, she left a relationship because her relationship wasn't growing. And so, for a while I didn't understand that. And I was like, so lost, like, why don't y'all grow together? But I get it. Like, sometimes you have to leave because you're growing in a way, and because you say, when people come with games and are not honest and manipulative or whatever, sometimes, I really do feel like it's kind of because people don't grow, like and it could be like, I'm growing to where, and I hate to use this, but I'm growing to where I think we should be more I'm gonna go back to fiscally. You should be more available to me fiscally. And I don't feel like that at all. That's no reflection on me. But
here's the thing,
people may feel like you're not measuring up.
I get where you're going with the fiscally, responsible to you. But what are you doing for me to be fiscally responsible to you? Are you playing ball in my park? Or you got a whole bunch of people waiting online to play ball?
Well, sir, if you want to be the leader of the house, you got to be the fiscally. If you want to be the leader, you got to be the fiscally responsible one. Otherwise, you're just a partner and a roommate.
I totally get that.
One thing, can we stop saying Americanized women, because you're starting to sound like a passport broad?
You know what I mean. You know what I mean.
No, I may know what you mean, but the people listening to us don't. Because here's the thing, we like to wax poetically about our grandparents. But our grandmothers could not get a credit card in their own name until the 70s. I was alive before our grandmothers could get a credit card. She could not get a loan. She could not buy a house. Most of our grandmothers would have loved to have been a single mother instead of putting up with the BS they had to put up with. Right? Let's be straight and honest. Because the grandmothers tell their granddaughters a whole different story than they tell their grandsons.
let's dig into these comments. Hey, Urs, you want to grab some of these comments as well?
Let me see. Let me see if I can see them.
I can read them if you can't.
Let's go this round. Let me see. I don't know if I could. Let's see.
Start off with Kathy asking Slash about being a side chick.
What?
Oh, I see.
Oh, they got it on the popping over there. Huh?
Yeah.
All right, let's get the. I'm gonna put it on screen for yours.
Oh, I see. I'm seeing
There we
it.
go.
No,
Kathy,
go up, go up to because he asked a question before that.
Oh, did he? Okay.
Yeah, before Kathy.
Before Kathy, let's see.
Yeah.
Here.
No.
Is that the one?
It said, Slash says, we kind of heard one side. Is anyone in favor of being on the side of pleasure? Then Kathy says, Trent, grand opening, however, communication is critical. We must establish your desire in a relationship. We must describe it to folks. Gotcha. Then she says, Mr. Slash, are you asking if folks want to be the side chick or dude? Asinine, if you ask me. I think he was just referring to just pleasure only without that.
Gotcha. Then Slash says,
many people in our age group, 40, 50 plus, are still playing. It's wild out there. And Slash says, for those that walk down the aisle, jump the room, did you know your purpose for yourself, then signing off on a union?
That's the whole point. That's the
whole
point.
Says,
but that goes back to growth. It goes back to growth.
What are my favorites? Troy, I see you.
Yeah, Trent says, Kathy says, Trent, it's hard for people to be vulnerable and transparent for fear of judgment. Pleasurable is easy versus purposeful. And then Slash says, Kathy, I'm asking, listening to learn. There's no perfect except perfect pitch. Both the body and the mind want what they want. Grown folks talk.
I want to hover around Kathy real quick, then we'll get to the rest of them, right?
Yeah.
And this is what my problem is. When you talk about, people are so afraid to be vulnerable. You know what I'm saying? I get it. I totally get it. I've been completely transparent and vulnerable the majority of my life. But I totally get it. But if you're not ready for vulnerability, don't look for no man or no woman. And I'm talking
I
on both.
I gotta say something about that. I'm just gonna go ahead on and say it. So let's talk about the word vulnerable. The moment you agree to be intimate with somebody, you know what I'm saying? You put yourself in a very vulnerable position. I don't see how people. How could you be so available and be available and vulnerable in that way? But I could. It's impossible.
This is where we place in those situations like that. We make the decisions after the sweat dry.
Yeah.
I spoke about this in Memphis maybe 10, 15 years ago, talking about the sweat dry. The entire audience over at the I think it's the University of Memphis. Everybody was like, wait, what are you talking about? Sweat drive? Yeah, it's making the decision before the sweat drive. You don't even know this person. You don't even know this certain person to be making the decision to even going with it like that or going with him like that. You see what I'm saying? So you got to be careful when you're being vulnerable. You have to. But once you agree to connect and going into a relationship, everything's supposed to be placed on the table, man. At least that's my opinion. Everything's supposed to be placed on the table. Everybody's supposed to be naked and have a conversation, a real conversation, without being, oh, wait a minute, I'm not going to say this because I don't want her to look at me this way. Come on, man.
I don't know. To me, it's hard to be physically naked with somebody and say, "Oh, I'm gonna be physically nude with this person," but I'm not gonna be vulnerable to them. The moment you agree to a sexual or intimate relationship, you are vulnerable, and I don't care how I don't care how you serve it up.
I agree. I totally agree.
Feelings get involved, and I'm gonna tell you, one night stand, I'm gonna call it a hit and quit. But about that second time, don't even miss me with the crap, because your feelings gonna get involved in some way, shape, form, or fashion. So that's when people just not being realistic, and people want to be able to turn on and cut off their feelings and when they want to or whatever, and make themselves available or vulnerable to other people. And that's when the wires get crossed. And that's what's wrong with us right now. And that's why we having these conversations, because oftentimes people run away with those emotions, and it's really it's really short term. It's really short term.
So I want to hover around Kathy's comment. Hey, great comment, beautiful. I really appreciate that. As Kathy died of North Carolina, a real good friend of mine over the years, and actually she made a transition back to traditional radio. Congratulations once again. Phenomenal radio show out there in Cincinnati that she's broadcasting nightly, nationally. So real good. I'm always listening. Good to see you on, beautiful. Good stuff, man. All right, let's get back to the rest of them, Coach D, and you can actually take it over there.
Let's see.
Martine.
Okay. No, I believe it's Slash. Where is it? Martine says, hi, y'all. Then Kathy says, Trent, it's hard for people to be vulnerable and transparent for fear of judgment. Pleasure is easy versus purposefulness. Slash says, Kathy, I was listening. Now I read that one. Tina says, you're right, transactional. Then Kathy says, great question, Slash. I did it under the pretense that my husband understood my purpose for marrying him at that time. That marriage was crazy. However, he's a fantastic father, not a purposeful hubs. Martine says, I certainly need for the both of us to grow together. Tina says, in all aspects, one-sided, I'm thinking. Martine says, women weren't able to even use their voices for years. Tina says, need a man for everything. Al. Now it's an independent league we're playing now. Martine says, I totally prefer balance. Sometimes when couples meet and marry young, they can grow apart and should divorce. Slash says, our parents all know what they knew, being taught and learned what they learned from their roots. Times and roles were different. Life was simple. Girls were girls, men were men. Okay. Sir, I hate to break it to you, but the LGBT community has been around for a millennia. Get over yourself.
Listen how these folks here. I see you, Kena, the great educator.
Not all the time,
see you,
Kena.
I see you.
Depends on your emotional level. Everyone is not built like that. Some are emotionless. Yeah, sex doesn't have to have emotion involved with it. People don't realize that.
Now let's talk about these emails that you're getting. Hey, I appreciate you guys contacting Coach D, and you guys are interacting well, man, offline and online. So really appreciate that. So what these knuckleheads was talking about, man? They talking about pleasure, just a pleasure?
Actually, I've gotten a few emails from the ladies who are over 50, and they have said point blank, I am at the age where I don't want a long-term relationship because these men over 50 are out of their minds. I'm reading her words. They have no idea what they're doing, what they want. They've been community dick for 30 years, and now they want to settle down because they're sick.
Whoa.
I'm reading.
I wasn't ready for that.
He says, I am not doing that. I will hit it and quit it with no issues and keep it moving. I have my own house. I have my own 401k. My retirement is all set up. I'm good to go. I don't need them. End of story. I was like, what?
I really wish you could have prepared me for this.
I told you I was going to read them.
You did. I didn't, but you didn't say what was in them.
and she's not the only one. There was multiple who were like, they've been married. One lady was married for 39 years, and she regretted the last 30 of the 39. She said I should have left 3 decades ago, and I didn't. Now I missed out on 3 decades of my life.
But here's the thing, right? I'm gonna piggyback on that email real quick, Miss Lady. There are gentlemen out there who don't mind serving you up like that. There are gentlemen out there who does not mind doing that. But you got to be careful when you talk about, pleasure, just straight pleasure. What happens when you get caught up? I mean, you still could be at 50 and get caught up.
Sir, I don't think you understand. Women's not going to get. No, people don't not everybody gets caught up like that. People are able to separate their emotions and just say, "This is what I want. This is all you're going to get from me." There's nothing wrong with that.
Flag on the field. Flag on the field. Flag on the field. Flag on the field.
Mm-hmm.
Listen, we gotta do better as a community. We could hold the bank accountable for our money. You can buy your new car and hold the lot accountable for your repairs to honor the warranty.
Right.
You could hold your children accountable for whatever you asking them to do. But you can't hold a partner that you intimate with accountable.
What are we talking about accountability?
I know, but listen. Well, it starts there because if we're talking about purposeful and pleasure, let me tell you something. You can't. We as a community, we have other crises that we could talk about. Venereal disease and stuff. You don't need to be hopping around. And people who hopping around, they're not doing their homework and allowing themselves. That's not true.
I would love to dig a little deeper on.
We're making a whole bunch of
that's not true that you
assumptions on people, though. We're making a whole bunch of assumptions that people aren't getting tested and being safe.
Well, let me just say this: for the older person who told you that I should have never, or who emailed you and said I should have never did this. Let me tell you something. Ain't nothing wrong with being vulnerable, and it's okay if you mess up and be vulnerable for the wrong person. And it just means that you need to do checks and balances a little bit better. You don't just go writing checks anyway. You don't fall for the first guy that look at, or the first few guys or whatever. And you definitely, if you've been in a relationship for 30 years, maybe get out of that relationship and try another one. And if that one don't work, get out of that one. Try another one. But what you don't do is say, I shouldn't. Hold on. I should just be using men, getting men, because I got all of this. Man, it ain't cool to be by yourself. That ain't cool.
It is cool to be by yourself. It is quite okay.
It's not.
Okay, we are not. People can be by themselves. There's nothing wrong with it.
There's nothing wrong with being single now.
No society.
There's nothing wrong with being single, but don't let's not sell them or send a message that it's cool being single either. It's cool being single.
Hold on a second. Wait. Hold on a second, Nurse. Hold on.
It's very cool being single.
It's super cool being single now.
It is cool if that's what you want.
Hold on a second. I just had a conversation with a friend of mine who's going through a tumultuous time in his relationship.
Right.
And I know he's looking at my situation. I know he is. He is. I'm single, right?
Okay.
I'm happy.
Okay,
I'm actually.
I love it.
I just started dating. Just went into a relationship, but I still consider myself single. I'm only dedicated to that one person, right?
Right.
But with no drama at all. It's a beautiful situation, but I know he's looking at my situation when I was single. That's what attracted this woman to me. I was so at peace with myself.
Trent, I know you catch feelings. Let me tell you again, one person you constantly being or whatever, people catch feelings. And if any, I don't care who it is. I don't care.
Let me finish. But
you catch feelings for coworkers.
I do not want people thinking that it's not cool to be alone, because it's wonderful to be alone. Let me tell you something. It's wonderful. Let me tell you why. With this situation, I've been alone ever since you know the story. You know the story. Right. Everybody that followed the platform knows the story. For the past 5 years, I walked through this condition, almost 5 now, going on 5, alone by myself, without a woman. You understand what I'm saying?
Right.
So, and honestly, to be honest with you, if I would have had someone in my life on a regular like that, I don't think I would have gone as far as I have.
Okay.
I still have a ways to go, but just like my neurologist said, I'm way ahead of the game.
Okay. And
I actually attribute that to me being by myself. I'm able to focus. I'm able to look at the outcome and not look at what's around me and all the chaos that some women bring. And I said some. So I think that the reason why I'm as healthy as I am now, I was strong in the beginning by myself. Go ahead, Coach D.
I'm just trying to read the.
They got comments going on.
Tina says, not all the time, Earth. Depends on your emotional level. Everyone is not built like that. Some are emotionalists. Sometimes emotions are not present. We learn from the best men. That's all, Kina. Slash says, my ending was from Archie Bunker anyway. Whether for pleasure or pleasure, like with any contract, is not what you deserve, is what you negotiate. It's true.
That's true.
Kina says,
wait a minute, ladies and gentlemen. This is a moment. This is a moment. Coach D and Slash are agreeing.
Yeah. That's all right. He's going to screw it up soon anyway. It only lasts for a moment, then he goes off the rails. Yeah. That's just he'll be right. He's good, and then all of a sudden he's off in La La Land. All right, and Tina said, yes, they want you to do, and then come talk. I've been hurt and I'm scared. Who has time for that after 50? Gentlemen are present and available, but you must present too. You know, they have roses and all kinds of things. Flash says, Ayo, Ursula, whom is it we you're talking about?
How could you know that word is talking about? How do you know that? Tone about. It's a talk.
Because now I can translate some of his language.
She's been reading Slash's comments for the past 3 years, so she knows she picked up on.
If I can't, I'm like, tell me in English, sir, because I just like whatever. Kina says they don't want to be accountable still playing the games after 50. That's men and women, not just men. Alan says, Absolutely. Say it out loud, sister. Yes, Ursula, love it. It's cool to be alone, but just get a little every now and then. Martine says, I'm fine being single. I'm not
who said that?
Get involved.
Who said it's cool to be alone and get who said that?
Kina. Martine says, I'm fine being single. I'm not going to get involved for the sake of having a man's name to mention. Kina wants to know how you're single, but in a relationship.
She talking to me?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's a good question.
Because she and I are not married. All I'm doing is turning this around what the ladies always saying to me. So I'm not married, so I'm still single, but I'm in a committed relationship. I'm in a committed relationship. I'm just not married yet.
Slash says, I'm singular like a handful of ones in an adult establishment going up on a Tuesday. See, told you, never last. Martine said, I'm going to go to the point where it's safer to remain single and just from time to time hanging out with a cool dude on the platonic tip. Have a good time, then go home. See you later. And Kina's still asking.
Wait, stop that. Read that again.
Martine, I'm going to the point where it's safer to remain single and just from time to time hanging out with a cool dude on the platonic tip. Have a good time, then go home. See you later. And Kina asked again, how are your relationship with single, but you just explained that. I'm just behind on the comments now, so please excuse me.
Gotcha.
Kathy says, wait, I don't understand that. So you believe that you have a purposeful partner who is there to help you, you wouldn't be as successful?
Can I pick up where you left off?
Yeah.
Queen said, I know women who date, and it keeps them in the dumps of coals that they've pressed. So pressed for a man and impatient in forcing connections. Ooh. And then that makes no sense, Kina said. And Queen said, be quiet and let Coach D read.
That was right.
Y'all are talking over each other. Queen said that. Y'all talking over each other. Kathy said, if you both had open and honest conversations about what and where you are in life, then she is not purposeful for you.
Let's go back to let's go back to Kina's comment when she said that makes no sense. All I'm doing is actually repeating what the ladies have came through the conversation and said all this time. If they're not married, they're single. Right. I said that on purpose and I made a point. I said that and made a point. I'm in a very committed relationship. Very committed. But I said that to make a point.
Oh,
okay. Marriage is a legal contract.
I'm sorry, say it again.
I said marriage is a legal contract.
Exactly. So I've said this over the years on the conversation since I've been back. And all you ladies have said, if I'm not married, I'm single.
Yeah.
Am I right, Ursula? Am I right?
Yeah, I agree with that. If you're not married, you are single.
All I'm doing is actually. All I'm doing is
Ursula, he's trying to pick. That's all. Just ignore it.
I agree. If you're not married, you're single. But I do feel. Let me just say, y'all. I wanna go back to what I was saying earlier. Because I want to stress nothing is wrong with being single. Honestly, nothing's wrong with it. But also, nothing is wrong with dating until you find somebody who you have a balance with. You can date and you don't have to be intimate all the time. You can just date and become friends. You'll be surprised how just dating may create some wonderful friendships.
I disagree with that.
You know, huh?
I disagree with the whole dating.
Trent, how could you disagree with Trent? When we first met each other, we knew about each other. We talked about that, and I was like, Trent, you are such a good friend, and we went back and forward on it. Yeah. You know, we did. And I'm like, you know, I'm the kind of person that I just enjoy friendship with people because I know I maximize friendships.
Exactly.
Sometimes
we're great
if you meet people and you don't even think and see them in that way, that you come back. I have one friend that live in the East. His name is Donald. He don't mind me saying this. We have the best friendship. We could talk about everything. When I say everything,
that's the same as you and I. We talk about everything. So yeah,
that's why sometimes it's a good idea not to. Yes.
Let's hover back around on this purpose because I really want to hone in on this thing here, right? Okay, here we go. My questions. I have questions. I jotted them down for you guys, and I know you guys are gonna get me on this, but it is what it is. Here we go. The first one is, what do you see as the highest purpose of a relationship? What do you see as the highest purpose of a relationship? And here's my notes coming from me. Loving each other unconditionally, trusting each other fully, having some interests in common and some that are different, and having a common vision for the future. That's me. Again, for you ladies, what do you see as the highest purpose in a relationship?
And you're referring solely to romantic relationships, correct?
It could be whatever, but we're talking about
relationships are different.
Let's talk about romantic relationship.
Okay. I'm one about, it's more for me, it's about companionship and walking down different paths simultaneously.
Boom. Now that's purposeful. Urs?
I got some answers.
Urs, go ahead. We're going to make it short because I got to go through a whole bunch of questions.
I am. I'm good. Enjoyment, flexibility, low pressure, and potential for change.
Okay, that's good. I like that. Okay. Now here's the second one, right? I came prepared for you ladies because I was kind of confused when y'all saying it was transactional. So I had to come prepared for you ladies. So here we go again. What does love with a purpose mean? For me, purposeful love requires us to be intentional, debatable, or in our relationship. It means taking time to understand our own purpose and value. Again, taking time to understand our own purpose and values, as well as those of our partner, and working together to create a shared vision for the future. Now you notice I'm using these words together: shared vision, your own, yours, your own. Everything's supposed to link up. When you're in a purposeful relationship, everything's supposed to link together. When you have a purpose, right? When you have a purpose, everything connects together. Like within my relationship, it's a purposeful relationship because it's connected. I know her purpose, she knows my purpose. We'll meet in the middle for the future.
So Trent, I'm not understanding. You in a relationship right now?
We're not gonna go on me. We're not gonna get on me. I'm only doing it for coaching purposes. So my personal relationship will stay off the table. My personal relationship's gonna stay off the table.
But you've mentioned it already, so I've heard you mention it a couple of times. I think it's up for discussion, but we'll talk offline more.
We'll talk offline. But
obviously, you're in a relationship.
We're not gonna talk yet.
Martine, you're in a relationship. I need to get the juice.
Stop. So the question again was, what does love? No, not that. What is it? That yeah, I'm on that. What does love with the purpose mean? I gave you mine already. What does love? I'm sorry.
Yeah, I don't talk like that. So I just think that if you're in a loving, fruitful relationship with somebody, then you communicate your goals, your values, your ethics, your commonalities, what you are willing to do together to move forward, what time you allow for yourselves so that you can create your own spaces.
Exactly.
There's so much more to it than we have to, because the way you say it is like we are doing this and we are going there, and there's like no.
That's not what I'm saying. That's not what I'm saying. But here's the thing: when you're dealing with a purposeful person, you're gonna, and if you're purposeful yourself, you're gonna see it. So I won't have to say it to you. You just gonna get in line and roll with it.
Yeah, but you're not leaving any room for spontaneity and.
I am.
You have not once said anything about spontaneity or just being.
Okay.
Because you have what you are. Right? If you are love, you'll get love.
Absolutely. So I guess I got love, huh? Let me stop picking. Let me stop teasing these people.
We're pretending that doesn't exist because you don't want to be transparent and authentic tonight. So
stop.
Right, Ursula?
Yeah,
we could.
I agree.
Let me get caught up in the comments before we.
Go ahead.
Tina says Trent is talking in riddles. No good at all. Martinez Queen Slash says y'all do know the trade in a bad hand of cards, right? Therefore, you can't blame the cards and not the card. Therefore, you can't blame the cards nor the card game. Tina said that lady must not know your comments because I'm sure she would not agree. Don't. First, we are too old to be dating. Tina says, either it's pleasure or purpose. Slash says, Ayo, Mr. Epic, is she trying to put a ring on it? See, he didn't miss it either. Martine says, I don't do habitual dating, too much chaos. Tina's talking about transparency, honesty, not faking it being 100. No, Marcus jumped in. If I'm not dating for the purpose of having a wife or a life partner, then what's the point? Keena says non-judgmental zone. Martine says companionship and continuing discovering of us. Keena says open and intentional. We're in 2024. Social media made it hard for real love.
Exactly.
I agree with that.
Exactly. With that. This is why I won't go any further on the relationship. And you guys got to know, like some of you guys know, this conversation's been around for almost 20 years.
Sir, all the hassling you did to me about Dr. Dreamy, and you're not saying nothing?
I just opened up a little bit and said I was in a relationship, right?
Yeah, we'll talk offline. Slash says, unconditionally, what does that look like, Mr. Epic? Define it without conditions or limits. On some Mary J. Love without a limit.
Nah, unconditional for me, right? Unconditional is loving each other with flaws and all. Loving each other, accepting each other's past and present unconditionally, and having an understanding on where you guys are going and whatnot. So that's unconditional, period. I love unconditional, without conditions. So on the moody days, still love Trent because I can be a handful. Love me unconditional.
Said that right.
Love me when I don't want to be bothered.
The only reason why we have conversations like this is because people enjoy relationships. We all have a relationship. People enjoy relationships. So the stuff about not being able to relate or you don't have to have it, you don't have to have it, but it is wonderful when you do. And you mentioned that you're in one and you're having a wonderful one. Obviously,
Coach D, what would you say, Coach D?
Relationships are wonderful.
Ursa's trying to pin me down. What were you saying, Coach D?
I was just reading the comments. Miss Ursula can talk. I don't know why she's trying to get defensive.
She's trying to pin me down. Ursa's
I'm not trying to pin you down. I just want to go on record saying that, relationships ain't bad,
It's not bad. It's a wonderful thing. Relationships are wonderful.
We're not saying it's bad. We're just saying that not everybody wants to be in one. That's all.
You don't have to. D, you don't like relationships, or you would prefer to be single? Are you single or are you dating somebody, D?
No, I never said me. I said people in general.
Are you dating? Or are you single?
I'm single.
Okay.
I'm divorced.
I'm single too.
Listen,
Tonight.
They rip me apart every time I mention somebody, so I'm not going to say nothing. Martine says, although you still need to become a together.
That might change tomorrow.
That's okay. No worries. Although you're still an individual, being in a union becomes a togetherness journey where the two of you include one another. Slash says, was there a mention of Dr. McDreamy? And Keena says, yes, it's Urs. Yes, it is Urs. Yeah. So,
hey, did Dr. McDreamy, so he's engaged, isn't he?
He is. Wedding coming up next November.
What? Oh.
Yeah, you got it. You guys got to go back and listen to the podcast on Dr. McDreamy.
Yeah.
Good stuff, man. Real good stuff.
Yeah.
Real good stuff. So yeah, but again, when we talk about purposeful relationships, like I said, I was kind of confused on you guys saying it was transactional. It was, I feel used because you're saying purposeful. I was kind of confused by that. I really was. I really was
Mhm.
because, you know, purposeful just means just exactly what it says, purposeful. Like,
Mhm.
you know what I'm saying? Like when you're on a purposeful path, a purposeful person will be magnetized towards you. They will come to you.
Yeah.
They will come to you.
I'm not disagreeing. It just the way you had worded it originally sounded very
I got,
transactional. And you know what I'm like about that.
but D, but of all people here, you know exactly my writing style. I do that
Yes,
to pull
but
them in.
see, I know, and sometimes you pull people in, and it annoys me. So it is what it is. You are well aware that that style bothers me at times. So because I will send you a message like, "What are you talking about?"
Exactly. But as you can see that those numbers are steady moving, so that's good stuff. So I do that. Like when I write that way to trigger a thought provoking. You know what I'm saying? So when I say for purpose of pleasure, I imagine when I wrote that, I imagine people thinking about, wow, am I marrying for purpose or for pleasure?
That's why it's called
So
Messy
that's
Sunday.
why I wrote it like that, for purpose or pleasure. Are you marrying me for purpose or pleasure? Which one? What's your pleasure? And does your pleasure supersede your purpose?
Mhm. All right, so we have some more questions. I don't want to get them out of hand
Okay,
because
good.
they'll yell at me. Uh,
Good.
Tina says, D, you're too pretty to be single. You too, Earth. You know I'm the matchmaker. Thanks, hon, but I have a 10-year-old, so I'm very, very careful about who's in my life. Slash says, social media is not real. It's not real. It's not real. Like Sade said, no place for beginners or sensitive hearts. Listen, there's so
Mhm.
many people who see social media and think that is what it is, when a lot of it is manipulated. So I
Absolutely.
agree.
Let's
Tina
get the
says, Trent,
Kenyans.
are you
Yeah.
transactional?
Can you elaborate on that, Miss Lady?
What's that? The social media is
No,
manipulated?
no, no. I'm asking her to elaborate on asking me am I transactional? Like,
Oh,
give me a little more context. I'll answer for you.
okay. Slash says, so the lovely ladies on the panel and experience purpose or pleasure. Martine, your purpose or pleasure? I'm saying no to both right now. Martine, I would love to have a cool dude to share with, but again, I'm not going to pair up with any old dude. I need acts of love consistently. I offer the same. Tina says both. Relationships should be both. And Martine says, shouldn't let you read. All right, we're caught up.
Okay, good stuff. Good stuff. So, Kena, if you could elaborate on, it, I'd love to answer your question. Look like she came back. I can't see from over here.
Did she? She hasn't. I'll see once she answers. I'll read.
Okay, gotcha.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah. So, like I said, when I wrote this thing up, and I'm glad that it triggered a thought with all these viewers and whatnot, because I think that's a valid question.
Hmm.
Are you getting with me for purpose or pleasure? I need to know. You know what I'm saying? And that goes
Yeah.
on both sides of the spectrum, ladies and men. Ladies, you should be asking this man, is this for pleasure or purpose?
I have a question.
Go ahead.
I have a comment. When we're dating or when we see people, do we already have an agenda aligned, that a purpose we have for them in mind? Like, you know, I go to the gym a lot and I go to work out, but there sometimes are some guys in the gym and they work out too.
Yeah.
Am I looking at them because this is a good workout buddy? Like, but I don't see it like that. I'm in there strictly for my workout. Like I love it. I'm there for that. But like if I'm dating, it's always been a requirement that um whoever I'm with um take care of themselves. Like
Right.
I don't like people to live unhealthy.
So
you
what's your
know.
question? What's your question?
So when we dating people or when we looking at people, are we looking at them with our agenda for them in mind already? That's my question. I'm asking when you say purpose and pleasure, are we in relationships looking at people for an agenda? Are we dating when we date or we meet somebody with are
It
we
depends.
already like purpose? Do we have a purpose for them?
It
That's what
depends
I'm
on the
wondering.
person. It depends on the individual mindset. You know what I'm saying? It depends on that individual's mindset, where that person's at in life, where that
All
person's
right.
at in their personal space, where they at in life. I see Keena come back. Can you read that for me, Coach?
She says, "Are you willing to give without wanting anything in return?"
Absolutely. All I ask for is love. Absolutely. All
Martine
I ask
says,
for is
"I'll."
love.
Yeah, Martine's. I'll ask that. I don't usually jump in and bust tell me that I move too slowly. Oh, I don't. I don't usually jump in and that.
Okay.
I don't
She
know.
answered
There's
the
a
question.
mistake.
I'll
Yeah.
just ask.
And Flash,
Slash
I've come to
says,
think of it. Where's Princess Charlie? Can we get updates from One Love Jam Rock? And Kina says, you should have an agenda on what you want aligned into your life. Expectancies don't settle, don't settle, don't settle. Yeah. I
absolutely.
firmly believe that we as humans, when we have an agenda that we're only dating purposefully, then we do look at people very specifically to what we want.
Right. Right.
And then we
Okay.
would skip over people who don't align with ourselves. Like
We do.
I tell people, you can usually, if you have 5 good questions, you can eliminate people pretty quick.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Well, we got about 9 minutes here, 9 to 10 minutes here. Let's gumbo talk real quick. So, ladies and gentlemen, gumbo talk is where, we came up with this thing where here in New Orleans, we throw everything in a pot. So the conversation is based around gumbo talk. We throw everything in and we just keep it going. So this has been actually back. I've been back about 4 years now, I believe, maybe 3.5 years or something like that. So this is the best conversation as far as this side of the conversation now, not on my previous podcasts and stuff like that over the years, but I used to bring on a whole bunch of guys. I got to be honest with you. Having ladies on and surrounded by ladies is better, much better. No shade to my old crew, but this new crew is phenomenal. So good stuff, man. Real good stuff. Real good stuff. So what you got going on, Coach D? Let's gumbo talk real quick.
My editor is having some. My book is working a little too well, so it brought up some issues for her. So she has to work through those issues before she get back to editing,
Okay.
which is a good thing and a bad thing at the same time. So hey, now I know it works. I'm working on Xavier's website this weekend, so get his business up and going. And I start a new position on tomorrow, so kind of excited about that.
Good stuff. Urs, what you got going on? I'm trying to get Urs, man. Ursa, I'm trying to get her to do because she's very bubbly, man. I love her personality. I've known Urs for a number of years, ever since I've been back south. I was introduced to Urs through my brothers. They're having parties with his wife, as Greg, Greg's wife and sister-in-law, and it's always been a wonderful time with Urs. She's never switched up and changed. She's always been the same person. I'm trying to get her to do her own podcast because I think
love having
that
her on.
exactly, and people always asking about her. I'm trying to get her to do her own thing to where she has a very bubbly personality, very bubbly.
So that's just it. I'm just trying to, figure it out, Coach D and Mr. Epic. I'm trying to figure it out. How do I make it come together and what I want to focus on? Because I don't like day-to-day drama. I do like discussing relationships, but I always like to end conversations with like the up and up. And I'm not so relationship driven more than I am. There's a lot of great people that I've met in a community, a band director who helps children. And I just think that those people need a light shined on them on every platform. And so that's what I'm thinking. Like the television show us people who we should admire, but there's really a lot of people in the community doing some really great stuff that I would like to showcase them when I do start my podcast.
So like everyday superheroes with Ursula.
Exactly.
Yeah. What you said?
I said everyday superheroes with Ursula.
Yeah, I was thinking something like that, like common grounds, because they're really people just like us. We all on common ground, just trying to. We fishing in the same pond.
Listen, there are some amazing people that are overlooked.
As I said it personally to
right.
you. As I said it personally to you, and I'll say it publicly. You know that there's a home for you as far as at Taylor Kennedy Media. Whenever you're ready, I got you.
Thank you.
You know there's a home.
Thank
so
you. I
good stuff.
appreciate it.
Real good stuff. And get to these last comments here real quick.
Where did I leave off at? Okay, Tina. So Martine, at this point, it doesn't take me weeks to decide on whether I'm going to continue seeing a dude.
Right.
There was a typo she corrected. Kenneth says, when we get to a certain age, we settle. Don't let people change you. Don't let people tell you what you should be doing. Live, live, live. I agree.
Boom. Great.
Martine's talking about iPhone and the typos. Man, get an Android. / IO Mr. Epic. Hope your ginger drink is on ice. Seems you're on the hot seat tonight. You all right over there? Do I need to bring the black special ops?
Nah, it's all good. It's all good. It's all good. It's all good.
Kenya, hey, does that like hitting the wall? Don't settle, aka take a plea. Are we speaking the gospel from past experience? And Ursula says, Kathy said, Ursula, I can help you with that if you like.
Aww.
And actually, Kathy is a great. She's a great go-to because she comes from traditional radio. Mm-hmm. And when I say traditional terrestrial radio, she comes from radio.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, that's my good friend out of North Carolina. I'll connect you.
Thank you. I was gonna ask.
All good. Gotcha.
Yeah.
Gotcha. Appreciate you, Kathy. Good stuff, man. So the recovery book this fall. I
love it.
The recovery book, The Return of Romello. The recovery book this fall. It's coming, and I've already set up the thing at Barnes & Noble. Here's the thing with Barnes & Noble. They're right next door to the gym. They just built a Barnes & Noble's next door to the gym. So that's purpose coming full circle. Mm-hmm. Purpose coming full circle. So I walk out the gym after yoga or after my workouts, go to Barnes & Noble's next door. So I've already worked out a signing with them. I used to sign books with them years past, but they wanted all the money and I kind of cut away from them. But I'm going back for that reason because they're right next door to the gym. So see how that purpose is lining up? Mm-hmm. So I'm going to leave the gym on the day of the signing of the recovery book. I'm going to leave from the gym and straight to the signing. That's purpose.
There's a Barnes and Nobles in Elmwood.
Right next door. It just opened. It just opened like a couple of weeks now, maybe 3-4 weeks, maybe a month. So I already cut the deal with them to sign the book. Have a book signing there. The gym is right there. So
that's awesome. That's truly great.
Yeah, I'm truly sold out to this medical fitness and doing this nonprofit. Got somebody putting all this stuff together, putting the board together, and I'm going out my first time July 11th at the Woodmere Center, at the Woodmere Civic Center, Community Center. I'm sorry, Woodmere Community Center on the 11th of July. Speaking about circle.
Your book is finished already, Trent?
Yeah, it's done.
So are you going to be bringing some books with you for people to buy and purchase?
No, not this. No, not this. Not for me. No, I'm doing it over at Barnes & Noble. The release will be at Barnes & Noble's at that location.
We need to talk offline about that then, because I want to tell you some stuff.
Yeah, I don't want to bring a book to the first speakers. I'm only going to have like maybe 15 minutes with these folks. So I really don't want to push it on them like that. But my goal is to help people and, bring stroke awareness to people.
Right.
And to, let people know that you can live independently after having a bleed on the brain and a stroke. Mm-hmm. I live very well independently. So you still have a life. There is still life after a bleed on the brain and a stroke.
Right.
Yeah. That's good stuff. Real good stuff, man. We'll get to these last comments and then we'll get out of here. But man, this is a good topic here, man. Real good topic.
All right. Last comment was / don't let them put you on the shelves next to Eric Jerome Dickey type books, yo. I don't know, so those books sell.
Oh, they sell. They definitely sell. They definitely sell. And still to this day, man, shameless plug again. Chapter the Delta still sells to this day. 14 years later, this book still sells in Walmart, Barnes & Noble, everywhere. Everywhere books are sold. Amazon, Prime, that is. They still sell, man. They still keep Romello relevant. I was actually going to, do away with Romello in his third installment of the Four Horsemen book. But people want Romello. They want to see what's going on with Romello. So he's coming back from the wheelchair this time. So let's see what happens.
People like closure. People like closure.
Exactly. So I've been having these people wait on this book for so long. I mean, I have some faithful readers, man, from Chicago to Memphis to the Bahamas to Jamaica, everywhere, to France, everywhere. And I'm getting emotional thinking about this. It's been a ride. It's been a ride. It's been a ride. I've been through a ton, and coming back from paralyzation and coming back from blindness in my left side. I'm thankful for you guys. You know what I'm saying? If I didn't have you guys with me, a lot of people don't know. I'll say it here and I'll be a little transparent and we'll get off. The reason why Coach D and Shannon read comments for me and all that stuff, I can barely see the comments. I could barely see the comments. And if it wasn't for them, wasn't for Coach D, I probably wouldn't be doing this. So when you look at me, Trent's fine. He's back to the full recovery. Nah, the recovery book gonna tell you everything. August, fall, late August, fall is coming. So good stuff. Go ahead. I apologize for getting deep with you guys.
No, it's all right. That's why people like being honest and transparent. Right? Yeah. That's what we're all about.
And that's what this platform is about. When you talk about the foundation of your platform, it's about being vulnerable. We have been vulnerable with each other since day one.
I got to say this. I got to say so. We'll get to the conversation, then we'll get out of here. The conversation started with Urs, myself, and a young lady named Chantel out of Boston, which is a good friend of Urs. We would talk about everything. They kind of took my mind away from me losing my father, and my father died in my arms very tragically. If you guys read the Four Horsemen book, you know the story. But they were being great friends to me, having conversation with me over the phone, and it turned into something. And somebody suggested, "Hey, you should write a book." I was like, "I'm not doing that." She was like, "Well, you're a songwriter. You should write a book."
Who I told you that, huh?
Yeah.
I just said, Trent, you got it right.
Yeah. So,
Trent, you got it right.
10 books later, man. 10 books later, here I am. So this is some good stuff, man. And over the years, and actually doing podcasts with Catherine, the nutritionist coach over in France, the conversation has come back full circle. Because the conversation used to have a platform of over 100,000 people, homegrown, over 100,000 people. Over 100,000 people, and to see that go back to what it was, that's purpose coming full circle. Purpose coming full circle. So I appreciate everybody for walking with me through this journey. Honestly, I do. I truly appreciate each and every one of you. And Slash, you already know what it is. Even with this equipment that you see, Slash stayed up with me until 2 a.m, almost 3 a.m. Slash put this and this is when I first started. He put all this equipment together. I didn't do any of this. He came over and stayed with me till 2:30, 3 o'clock in the morning. Because I couldn't do it. I couldn't physically put it together. So I'm honored. I appreciate you guys. So you guys could close out because I'm getting a little emotional. So
Well, what are we going to talk about next week?
Hey, it's up to you. What you want to talk about?
I don't know. I watched that debate. I'm feeling a little spicy.
You're looking a little spicy too, sister.
I told you I have a split personality. When my hair is down, I'm always spicier. I don't know. Let me think about it. I'll send you the title. Did you see I sent Trent on Instagram the 5 questions you should ask your significant other. Maybe we'll
I
do
think
something
that's
like
a good
that.
topic.
Maybe we'll do that. Maybe we'll do something like that.
I
5
think that's a
questions.
good topic.
That's good. Ernst, you want to come back?
Yeah, I think so. Yes.
Yeah.
I'm trying to get you. I'm trying to get you comfortable as possible so you can actually start that podcast. Because I think that you're gonna be phenomenal, man. I think you're gonna be real good at this because that's your personality. That's your thing. You know what I'm saying? I see you on TikTok. Doing your
You
thing.
started.
That's your thing.
I think I need to do one like this week.
You're on
I
TikTok?
wanted to release them weekly. Yeah, actually, D, can you view them and just tell me what you think? Because let me tell you, I struggle with the word sometimes. I've done it less and less, but
It's
I'm just
okay
trying to get
though.
more comfortable in front of the camera.
Here's the thing.
What's
What
your
I learned
TikTok
over the
name?
years, over the 20 years that I've been doing this, I've never given them bells and whistles. Never. If you're gonna get an arm from me, that's what you're gonna get.
Okay.
That's what you're gonna get.
I
It is
like
what
that.
it is. Yeah, that's what you're gonna
I
get.
like that. I
That's
like
all I
that.
got. You know what I'm saying?
I
So
like
when I
that.
came
Yeah, I
back,
like that.
when I came back and Tammy suggested I come on camera because I was podcasting when they were calling it broadcasting. So nobody really
Right.
saw me. They just heard the voice. But this time
Right.
around it was video. I'm like, I can't do that. This arm doesn't work.
Ma'am.
And after that conversation, y'all gonna get what y'all gonna get from me. Period.
Right.
Ma'am, you have 5,500 followers and 15,000 likes. You don't need me. You're already doing it.
She's not familiar with the technical side of it, D. She's not how to maneuver and work, work her thing out like that.
All right. Let me go look at it and then I'll send you some notes.
All right. What she said I have?
You have 55. I'm looking at your page. You have 5,500 followers.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah. Don't tell nobody that in public. Please don't tell nobody that. Please don't tell nobody that, Ernst. Now you see why I've been telling you come to the platform so you can bring them people.
Here's the thing. TikTok will be a good place for you to start your everyday following, your everyday people.
Yeah.
And then you could leverage TikTok and move it over to a podcast.
Yeah. I'm trying to see. Somebody said, what's your TikTok name? I think it's Ursulia J. So my name is spelled.
Please don't tell nobody you think. Don't do that, Ernst.
No, I'm sorry. You can coach me. You can coach me after the podcast.
Yeah,
so my name is Ursulia. Urselij. I mean IAJ. Ursulia J.
Good stuff, man. Real good
Leah
stuff. Real
J.
good stuff. So actually, I'm liking that topic, Coach D. If you want to do that,
I like the 5 questions you should ask. I think that's
5 questions you should ask. So, are you going to leave me unsupervised to write this up, Coach D?
Yeah, do it. Write it up, and then when you
ladies and gentlemen,
nope. She's gonna have to support you. Give him some support on the 5 questions to ask.
You heard her say that she's gonna leave me unsupervised.
Nope. I did not say that. I said write it up and then I'll see.
Okay. Well, look, because I need to get into his business anyway, get his tea, because he in a relationship.
There you go.
So I want to know what question did you ask your 5 questions?
I didn't ask 5 questions.
I have way too many Ursulas on my thing. Am I looking at the right one? What does your hair look like in your profile picture?
It's long, like down, and it's blonde, and it's like almost look like locks, but it's long.
Okay.
Good stuff. So we're gonna say
on my Facebook page is Facebook connects you to everything, so it's just Ursula Johnson. Oh, yep, you're following me.
Okay, I just followed you. I have the right one now. So you have 109 followers and 42 likes. We'll work on that.
Okay.
Hey, listen, let's get to my favorite Detroit is sending me a private message here. Let's look at her suggestions in the comments, and then we'll get out of here and say goodnight to you guys tonight.
Martine says, I'll skip down to the bottom. Let's discuss the women who are saying they'd rather be in the woods with a bear. What's your TikTok info? Twitch is better with recent improvements. Martine posted in the conversation page. And Slash says, Martine is the CEOs of Cash Money Records. One of the CEOs. Listen, on that note, I hope you all
So,
have a
hey,
wonderful.
listen, man, we truly appreciate you guys for tuning in, man. I seen all you guys there from YouTube to Tail Kennedy TV, all that good stuff from Instagram. We really appreciate you guys. Really, truly appreciate each and every one of you. The conversation's back. I feel great. Kobe needs a walk, and he's been a good boy tonight, so he's gonna get an apple. So good stuff,
Trent,
man.
thank you for bringing me in for a second week, and thank you for definitely promoting me and put me out there a little bit.
All good, man. You know it's all love with us. Good stuff,
Yeah,
man.
I
Good
know.
stuff. Good
Yeah.
stuff. Good stuff.
Coach
So,
G, keep coaching.
Always.
absolutely. So, what's the topic for next week?
5 questions you should ask.
5 questions you should ask in the
When?
No.
before ending.
Do you really know your significant other?
Ooh. She tried to start trouble.
You know what?
Let's
G?
do that.
I like your hair down. I like your hair down because you with it. You bringing it. I like it.
Let's do that. Do you really know your significant other?
Yep.
Right here, next on the conversation with Trent and his wonderful friends, right here on the Tail Kennedy Media Network. So really
All right,
appreciate
got
you
some questions
guys.
for you. All right.
We'll
I'll see
definitely
you all
talk.
next week.
All right.
Good
Have
stuff.
a
You
great
guys
week.
talk soon.
Okay. Bye-bye.
You guys be epic.
Bye-bye.
Conversations with Trent in conjunction with Taylor Kennedy Media and your radio network would like to thank you for calling in and listening to tonight's episode. We hope that tonight's conversation offended you just enough to turn your mirror inward to come back for more. So until next week's conversation, be epic.